Jason, if it's enough for them to sort of solidify a spot in that the top 8, or they realise how important this game is still to win, to avoid Energy looming in the distance. Because I'd say NGA is a far more comfortable matchup for both of these two teams.
And I actually know Energy is waiting and watching this match to see who they're going to be up against as well. So they want to make sure to scout out their team, definitely give them the respect that both these two teams deserve. But look at AllStrike again, sitting on the Diva and the Winston combo. The Maywall's going to come in, but it's a little bit lackluster, but it doesn't matter in the end because they take it at 11-5-20, as Inyana's going to be out of this one, and Key's looking to be even more aggressive, try to take down Samsara.
And there he is, Samsara, not much you can do about that one. The punch comes in and Key's going to finish him off now as well. Key doing a lot of the dirty work, I suppose, getting in towards the back line. Quick wall just to avoid the beam coming in from the Zaya, but Meng Mao was actually able just to hold up. He picks up Yongban, so although Rain survives, gets himself a bit of ult percent, he was going to have to back away, but he could potentially have the Graviton Surge ready for the next fight.
But how does Key distract and kill 3 people?
Well, they give him space, though. You saw that. I mean, it was Rain and Samsara was sitting back. Samsara wasn't actually in the back line of Snake at all. He was very much sort of back towards the opening there. The fact that the Zenyatta got through first was concerning. And
the Maywall didn't even work correctly. That's the odd thing for me. But they can see Diva on the high ground, actually taken relatively low. Winston as well, being forced to jump away east, just on a sliver of HP left. He ideally should be falling here as Meng Mao just going to go for the chase. They're actually being forced back to the point. The point's actually still being captured, and finally they're able to contest it and knock the person off. It was 11-5-20. The ground surge is going to come in, but what's the backup? There's nothing there to really help out from this one, and 700 is going to be able to pick up that initial kill using his own Graviton Surge and a Nano Boost. So really seeing that Snake want to invest onto this point to make sure to hold on to it.
A little bit of a wasted Graviton, I think that's safe to say. I mean, the fact is, Rain was already behind 700 in terms of his ult percentage anyway. 700, there was 2 Graviton Surges used in that fight. But this doesn't help Rain. Why don't you hold on to it? Because now, you've seen the Graviton Surge come out. You've already lost 3 players. You actually have this ult to come back in and make something happen with it instead of forcing another potential mutual Graviton scenario, which doesn't benefit anyone.
Oh, Meng Mao's going to have at least his Death Blossom this time. He's going to come in from behind. This is going to be deadly. I don't think AllStrike prepared for this. He spots out Samsara, but he's not able to kill him because the Transcend's been used, and I think that's a self-destruct on point. Meng Mao! Gonna be fine. It looks like he's not gonna be taken down by that one. The Garage Surge in towards Cafe actually pulls quite a few people together. Somehow 700 got another one up after using it in the last fight, where Rain's only at 70%. And Snake ideally should be able to hold, but Samsara's gonna be coming in with the Death Blossom, picks himself up a double kill. I don't know if Key's gonna be enough to pretty much hold on this point. He's got Fate and 700 coming in, trying to reinforce the point with them, but it's not gonna be it. AllStrike's just gonna take the point.
And it's quite interesting to see how that fight happened, because Meng Mao at the start of the fight, you saw him try to go over the top. There was a wall up, he tried to get back in behind. He went for Samsara, but there was a Transcendence pop, and Samsara had himself a Harmony Orb. And then we went away from them. We didn't actually see what they were doing. So Samsara survived after that point for the entire fight, still doing damage. Then he managed to come back in with the main wave after the Graviton Surge was used in towards the Cafe. And the fact that there's a Graviton Surge in the Cafe at all means that AllStrike were very aggressive, but not sending. They didn't put Samsara in there. They put their support players. Still, it worked out, and they managed to go straight through towards the center of Snake's lineup there and take the advantage of the Cafe high ground away from it.
It just gives you the idea of where Snake was positioned in the entirety of that point after they've already won the fight before that. But in the meantime, the payload's still moving. Pong is able to take down 9139, get him de-suited and actually finish off the kill, and somehow Zaya is able to stay alive that long to the point, but Pong and 700 coming back, and again, the tanks really doing work. Meng Mao on the Reapers is providing a lot of extra damage, but the tanks are really lifting the heavy weight for the side of Snake.
Now, this is probably a situation where I wouldn't mind seeing the Mei come out here for AllStrike, because you can see what Samsara was trying to do. He's essentially having to play on his own without a lot of babysitting or sort of people just sitting on top of him. He gets a Harmony Orb, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But if you give him that Mei, if you give him the Nano Boost, he can sort of break through the Zayas and the Reinhardts that were giving him as much trouble as they did just then. He doesn't have to worry so much about the tank line because he's already over their head, destroying the people they're trying to protect.
And no Nano Boost actually in this entire game. Looks like both teams don't want to go for the Ana. That's going to be 9139 throwing the self-destruct up towards the top of the point. He tries to get the suit down, but he gets frozen in the meantime. Key takes him down before that Diva can be any more of a nuisance, and Samsara is being forced away from the Graviton Surge with the entirety of Snake, 700 Fate, Meng Mao, all secure kills on AllStrike. And then they have to go back to spawn here and wonder what to do next. You pointed out the Mei, maybe the Mei is what they need.
Well, or the Ana to that degree. Now I like this. I like the McCree being picked up here because you put Samsara as the sole DPS player, but you don't put enough emphasis on him. You don't put an Ana in the team. You don't allow him to receive the Nano Boost. I'm glad the supplement now that one Reaper on his own with a McCree who can work a little bit more at range. Safe positioning support, but Punk is going to be allowed. Dirt Shadow comes down. That's pretty nasty. 3 players get caught up in that one, and now he's going to go straight towards the back. But Samsara, good response, good counter engage, and that's how a Reaper can shine in an analyst situation. Now he's got the freedom to go for the tanks, and 700 is going to fall.
And more importantly, Rain flash banged up Pange before he can do any damage, before he can finish off Yongbon, so he can speed Samsara through to actually recapture onto this point and push the payload further. He's one of the few remaining people on the payload and forced to go back on the high ground. This is what we saw Samsara do in the last match against IG Fire on Kings Row. and well, not even Nabani, just King Drone in particular,
Yep.
trying to be sneaky, trying to get in good positions every single time to make the best use of Reaper they possibly can. The problem is Mengmao spotted him out, and Mengmao's on the opposing high ground. But now he has to watch out for Rain, where Samsara has a lot more freedom.
Yeah, that's right. You can see Mengmao trying to do it's more defensive play with the Reaper from here, and Rain's going to pick him up. That's why you want the McCree in this situation. I'm glad they brought the extra offense hero in. This is AllStrike making the key adaptations that are required in a situation where they're realizing, okay, Samsara's not having the impact on his own that he's required to do. Because he can't flank, because he can't get in safe positions to actually counter-engage or sneak around. You bring Rain in there, you have Samsara continue to do the same thing, be sneaky, use high ground advantage, and then you have Rain at the front who's commanding attention on his own. Perfect way to take the pressure off Samsara.
The Transcendence coming through just to have a clean transition from this payload into the second checkpoint, and there's really not much Pange can do with this one. Samsara just in your face time after time. They're going to secure the second checkpoint. I really want to see out of Snake a Winston, actually. Just jump on top of Rain. It's a little bit too late now because they're all grouped up when they're pushing through, but you throw a Winston on top of Rain, who has no support, has no Ana to help him escape. All he has basically is Youngbon. And they're able to pretty much counter him for the most part. He's been able to pick himself up. A double kill. Samsara still push up aggressively to not give Snake a chance to contest at the door. And now AllStrike, they're looking pretty good. Considering how long it took them to take the first point, they still got 2 minutes left to finish off the map.
The fact that Rain just picks off Mengmao and Key there as well is going to allow AllStrike to advance a lot further with a lot more peace of mind. Right? There's not going to be any Reaper coming from behind. Maybe he has or not, maybe he doesn't, because you've got to keep tabs on Reaper now if you're playing up against an Ana Reaper. AllStrike are doing that well. Rain's picking him off at long range, and it's a good answer to that composition. He doesn't get the flash though, but it's okay. Key going to be able to come back on his feet, and Rain just needs to sit back. Safe position will keep him okay in this situation, but AllStrike now need to start to mount a decent step towards his payload again. They've been pushed off and they need to regain control.
And actually we do see a chain coming out of AllStrike. He's going to be on the Winston. Actually he was on the Winston before, but he already used his Primal Rage, which will be up in just a few seconds. And Samsara, he does have his Death Blossom available. The Gravity Surge even coming up. This is a lot of ultimates, and a lot of high percent ultimates that are almost ready for AllStrike that can completely finish off this game if they use them correctly. They have a minute left. Snake are finally getting some ultimates on themselves, Earthshatter and Graviton Surge, but Rain being very smart. He was trying to hide the entire time so he gets a good Deadeye off, but he doesn't really have any targets because most of them already died. The 2 people who are already peeking have fallen, and he somehow picks up the shot on the Key. He gets the jump shot, and now Snake are losing men before even getting ultimates off.
And that was a Graviton Surge from Snake. AllStrike still have one available, so when they even respawn back in, AllStrike are going to have pole position, better spots to fight from, and the Graviton Surge to tie them all together. Now Rain gets sleep data. That was a good little peek out from Fake to take him out of the fight, but there's still so many more issues that need to be addressed here on the side of Snake. And it's not working out for them. There's the Graviton Surge coming forward. 700 finds East, but look at Rain. Again, safe positioning. Off towards the side. Can't quite get the peak in there, and a little bit of a mistake allows Mengmao to get a quick double. Triple even.
That sleep just won the fight for them there. Somehow he catches him out. I don't understand how they knew Rain was up in that high ground because he's trying to channel on a Pange to nullify the nano boost. But he got picked off. Ultimate completely reset. He was out of the fight for 5 seconds. And with that, his teammates just kind of died one by one. AllStrike, with that many ultimates up, how do you lose this fight?
It was more, I think it was actually more Mengmao getting that Death Blossom on the 3. Rain should have double headshot and killed him, but he missed it. The fact that he was put to sleep was fine because the entirety of Snake was staying out of the way anyway. They could hear the Deadeye coming in, so they already had passive positions. Mengmao dies first in this fight. That's probably the first port of call for AllStrike. They pick him up. Graviton Surge going to come in from 700, though he gets himself on towards Samsara, but there's the McCree yet again. Rain, what a menace! He picks up both of the supports. What a perfect situation. AllStrike needed, and it's great little target selection. The prioritization coming out here from this team, working out well. AllStrike have the payload moving forward, but Mengmao now into stall.
He's coming back in, but he's going to rewind away from the payload here. It's so close to finish off 1.8 meters, and with the kill coming through with no one respawning back in, AllStrike they're going to finish off the map here. And probably a situation they maybe shouldn't have, to be honest. Mengmao just some great individual plays, some great sleep darts coming through, bought a lot of time, but they finish it in overtime, if anything. So, if Snake can have a decent attack, have some time left over, they're going to have a second chance to attack and maybe pick up the map.
Yeah, they seem really happy. Like, this is AllStrike incredibly upbeat. Now, you were in overtime, obviously, so you don't actually have a time bank remaining to you. I generally thought they played that one quite well, although stalled out a little bit too much towards that end stage. However, they must be confident they can full hold Snake here. They must have something, or maybe they're just so surprised they even managed to finish the map. I'm not even sure, but this is a very, very good start from AllStrike under the current circumstances. Again, the idea of the composition being crafted to keep pressure off Samsara, who doesn't have as much resources as he would inside an Ana comp, has been good. And with Rain coming in on that McCree, you can just see how much trouble he's able to cause. I'm surprised we don't see more of that the play from that man. So it's a bit more of an old school comp, the 2-2-2 from AllStrike there. But because of the impact that the DPS players were allowed to have, they were still allowed to overcome a team that did have the Ana, that did have the Reaper.
I just really want to know why Rain doesn't play more McCree.
Exactly.
because he hit so many great shots. His position was pretty spot on. But I'm really curious why, more importantly, these two teams aren't playing Ana at all. We crown IG Fire and SKG as being like the two teams who know how to play around Ana correctly. They'll play it, but they don't seem willing to. I'm not sure exactly why. I think it's the whole fact of if you play Ana, you expect the other team to play Ana a little bit, or you're also investing a lot into that pick alone. And also kind of changes the way you're going to force these attacks. A Discord Orb is so powerful that was it 30% damage increase that target's going to take. And if you put Samsara, who can hit shots like he can do, or Rain as well, then you necessarily don't need the Ana. I just wonder if they play like a Western team who knows how to play Ana perfectly or play it really well in the comps, if that's going to work out against them.
I mean, I think AllStrike probably value the combination of Zenyatta and Lucia a little bit more than having the Ana in the mix here. If you're good enough at keeping tabs on the enemy Reaper and sort of knowing where he is, and you always have to be expecting him to go in with an Ana boost, whatever it is.
What are you doing to us, 9139? What are you doing?
This is cheesy, but this turret is really annoying to get to. Now, because of the RNG of where this is sort of up and down, you need something to pick it off at long range. I'm glad that Snake had the Hanzo here, and he's already spotted it, so he's going to try and damage it down.
He's got to hit the shots first.
But the thing is that the Torbjorn can't actually repair that, obviously, when he's on the ground.
Oh,
so, you know, I thought he
just killed someone right there. It took quite a few shots. Oh, he gets flashbanged up by Rain, who's just trying to go towards the high ground. Torbjorn's rebuilding his turret, but it's not really in a position to help out necessarily because AllStrike have lost out on 2 men already. Rain towards the high ground is trying to deflect this one, trying to hold this point back. Gets the flash on the Meng Mao, but with the 2 headshots at East there, they're able to finish off the kill, and they're leaving that Reinhardt sleeping. They don't want to interrupt this man.
Yep, the rule is let sleeping lions lie. Already Punga getting 2 or 3 kills in that fight. There's actually 2 kills and a turret kill in that fight for Snake. Means AllStrike definitely were more than happy to leave him on his own. A couple Lana shots going in there in the direction of I think it was Rain actually, so needs to be careful. But this is a case we actually are seeing AllStrike play the Ana, but it's more for the Reinhardt.
We're seeing 2 Anas now. Yeah. After the entire attacking phase of AllStrike, now we're seeing Anas being played out of both teams. It's really confusing over here in the China scene. But
they're not playing a Reaper here as well. I think, you know, whenever they play Reaper, they don't play Ana for whatever reason.
I mean, we can get really in depth and say like Torbjorn kind of acts like a Reaper because his right click does a lot of damage, but he doesn't have the Wraith for him, and he's really tiny, so he's hard to hit. But nonetheless,
that was a nice shot.
Takes Rain out of this equation, and he also has his Dragon Strike available, but he might not need it. He gets himself a second. This time onto the short dwarf of 9139. I don't think there's anything he can do to contest. Key picks himself up a triple.
He's a human being. He's just Swedish. To be fair, Swedish people being short doesn't make any sense when you look at Reinforce.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can imagine
high.
he would object to being called a dwarf. But again, nicely done by Key there. Yeah, he wasn't all over the kill feed, but you see how many consistent shots he was getting in there. That took East to half health. That is a half health arrow to the head. That is so frightening, and that's why teams do take the Hanzo win just for that extra, I guess, the extra killing power.
And he does see Rain going towards the general store to get on top of it, but the thing is, what does Snake have to get up there? You can obviously throw Key up there, but he's by himself. You can put his Irish Shield onto him to make sure he has a safe passage into this, but they're waiting for the Ground Surge Dragon Strike combo. This is where things are going to get really deadly. You can see the Ground Surge is coming through. The Dragon Strike's going to be let loose. It was almost too far. He does pick up a kill, but East is swinging through. Mana boost available to him. He has an Earth Shard. He just turns around and slams it down. Not really given a situation to do so, and even 700, I believe that was 9139 off to the side, trying to go for some hooks, and 700 was able to land his own. But this is just so hectic. It's not really like a thought-out strategic plan. It's just like, let's use ultimates in the right situation if we can get them, and they're not even necessarily ideal.
AllStrike are playing a composition actually that is a bit more of a sit back and maybe not get too deep into the fight. 9139 wants to get picks out. They've got the McCree for the same degree. Samsara just wants to defend people. Against the Hanzo, you kind of do want to get in his face. You don't want to give him... Look at this. No one's testing him, so it makes it so much easier to hit those arrows. Hanzo slows down a lot when he's firing, when he's drawing back his bow. So if you have him on the ground surrounded by enemies, he has a lot more trouble. The Earth Shadow down there from Pangate making it so much easier, but I'd like to see AllStrike go back to the Reaper. I'd like to see them start to engage and put some pressure on this Hanzo.
Well, this is what we saw of AllStrike when they played against NGA. They're slow to adapt to someone in the back lines, like Maps on NGA with McCree. They have Hans on the back lines. They don't have anyone to jump to him. Where's your Winston? You literally throw a Winston at him, Key's not going to do anything to you. And now he has Dragon Strike. He's still not being punished. Most likely he will be switching relatively soon, but with hooks like this, with a constant snowball going on for Snake, I don't see AllStrike holding this. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
It's a long, long time. And this is why I don't understand why AllStrike was so jovial about actually finishing the map in general. Unless it's like some sort of...
they finished,
unless it's like some personal milestone. Perhaps it's like we'd never played Hollywood before, but that's already proven to be wrong. Yeah. They have gotten further than they have in this tournament on this map, so we'll give them that, but still, I don't really understand it. They've got a lot of bolts to work with here, but look at their positioning. Look how they sit back for the most part. Who's at the front? The tanks are there. Rain's trying to use safe position there to get some damage up, but 700. Perfect little flank. He gets the hook in. That's exactly what you need to do. Where's the damage of AllStrike gone? Well, I don't really know, because they have the one McCree for damage here. So, who's benefiting most from the nano boost? Probably East. He just died there, so not ideal. Youngban still lets go with it. I think it was Rain that got the nano boost. No, they're going to use it on 91-39. I don't really understand this team call from AllStrike.
They have a Winston now, so they can jump on top of Key, but the problem is they're not even doing just that.
Samsara, though, switched over towards the Reaper. This is, in my opinion, 2 minutes too late. Let's see if it works out. No, see, they switch the Reaper, then they go towards the Lucio. They don't want Reaper Ana. They don't value it, I guess. What they do value is the fact that you can engage these fights, but they might not have a chance to. It's going to be the Dragon Strike coming straight through, or the Wolf, whatever you want to call it. Fortunately, the Transcendence was available there from 115-20 to keep them alive.
The Snake again, 700 takes down Samsara, gets the hook in. Key is still not being pressured, even though you have 91-39 playing the Winston. Key is still able to use the height advantage. They've been able to climb up walls to just escape for him for the most part. 91-39, we saw this happen. He just can't stick to the target he's trying to jump onto with this Winston, and it's not working out. Slowly, Snake are grinding through this phase, but they're waiting for ultimates to come back online. AllStrike have held, but with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, you have to wonder, can they continue this pace up? They don't have the Ana, like you point out. They're switching 91-39 now over to a Diva, which he actually can mitigate the ultimate completely out of Key, but it's still really difficult. You have to be in the right place at the right time.
Not even that. You can actually kill Key. At 91-39, you can get up in his face
hope
and deal
so.
with it. Well, yes, you
Winston's supposed to, but he's not able.
The Dragon Strike got blocked there. I think he actually got eaten by something. Maybe it was, in fact, 91-39 that managed to eat it up there. Key, probably a little bit frustrated that it didn't work out. But the very fact that Key's still playing Hanzo says that he's not being pressured. Otherwise, you'd switch away in a heartbeat. You go to something else. You go to anything else. This is just weird. Again, he still gets to sit in the back. Look where Key is. He's already out the door. He's got his tanks in front of him. Yes, they're losing the fight, but there's no focus towards his Hanzo. He's still alive.
And Rain, who was playing McCree, switching to the Zarya that Samsara was using because they really want to have this Reaper for the tanks that are in the face of AllStrike. But this is the time you have to wonder for Snake. You've had 2 minutes of time, and you've been unsuccessful in pushing this payload up. Your combos haven't been working out. Do you switch something over? Do you continue to go this Hanzo? Do you want to switch yourself to a Reaper?
As soon as they have the Ana here as well, 115-20 switching off the Zenyatta. If you get rid of Hanzo, where's the damage of Snake? Not a lot, really. Fate's going to go down there as well. It's going to be AllStrike again managing to hold here. They're going to push in. More of a rhetorical question, but if you focus Key down like that, even though he should be dying at the end of the fight.
It's got to be a switch. There's just no way. They used ultimates there just to make sure to use it, maybe pick up a couple of kills. He's got to be switching off. He's got to be going to Reaper. There we go.
Yeah. So, okay, so finally, right? Snake have realized that that's a problem. Samsara has a few options to get into the back line now. High ground advantage that you can achieve, but he's going to go for the low ground and get himself 4 kills. Beautiful stuff. And there it is. So we finally see from this team the Ana boosted Reaper. We don't see it much at all, and it definitely has the impact there. So why are you using Zenyatta instead of Ana this whole tournament?
I think that's a question only they can answer, Mitch. But they have to also be really careful because of how far they pushed out. If someone snuck by and on the payload, they could have actually lost the game just to a backdoor alone. Mistake, they have Key on Reaper. They have 700 who's been hitting hooks this entire time, but they need to have him continue to do it because they have the hog available. They have a Diva charging straight through. The Earthshot actually going to land relatively well, but he gets knocked off. Ponga was trying to get the charge onto that Diva, but getting knocked away by the right click out of Zarya forces him to just go for a charge somewhere else, go for the left clicks onto someone, and Samsara on the Reaper is just trying to back away because Snake had picked up a couple of kills. They've lost their 2 tanks. They're relatively squishy now, and Samsara's being focused down.
Yeah, that's an important kill for 115-20 actually. Helped out Samsara, got rid of Meng Mao. Samsara was very low there. His biotic grenade, there's not really much he can do now. The Diva's trying to get back on towards the point. Snake in a very similar position to AllStrike in the first half. The self-destruct coming in. Take cover, everybody. It looks like they're going to be able to get away here with 91-39. Needs to reach too quickly and get back to the battle because he's running out of teammates on the point. But the Stor's going to come in here from East. He's going to get his Ice Form going, and even a wall goes up on the payload. To what end, I'm not really sure here, but the Graviton Surge is going to come away from Snake to suck AllStrike together. But Samsara, 2 quick kills. It's going to do the Reaper copter straight into the back line, but only 2 is not enough here. Not quite. And Snake are going to get over the line as well. Okay. Both teams get over the line.
In overtime.
Well, for some reason, I saw on the timer there 1 minute for AllStrike.
Yeah, because 1 minute gets added on to both teams. They get a second chance, I believe, to attack.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, because you know how this situation happen often. And in ranked, well, either we win really one-sidedly or we lose really one-sidedly. So I honestly couldn't tell you at this rate what's going to happen.
No, to be fair, we didn't have that one Temple of Anubis game that I always complain about on stream. The one that we just lost. I agree that I had a part in that. I'm just saying. We have
it was a team. No, it was the team's fault. It wasn't our fault.
Yeah, that's right.
Nah, it's never our fault. Yeah, so it looks like, I believe, we're going to be going to 1 minute for each team to see if they can capture the first point, and then push as far as they possibly can. If neither team can capture the first point, you know what, Mitch? We're doing a full replay of the map. So we only have 3 games today total, but we could have replays that drag it out longer.
Well, maybe now I understand why AllStrike was so excited about actually finishing the map, because they eventually managed to slow Snake down. Snake had 4 minutes and 20 seconds there on the final stretch there, so We did, to be fair, see Hanzo get shut down to a great degree, and you can see Key was mostly just trying to lean on Dragon striking straight up through. There aren't a whole lot of good places, high ground especially, you can take as Hanzo on the attacking side in that last stage, unless you want to put yourself in a dangerous position by flanking around the team. Now 700 did that. You saw the Roadhog from above, he got the hook in there, but as Hanzo you can't really feel a peace of mind in doing that. So
I mean, McCree or Reaper, because with McCree you can push the high ground on the enemy side and catch him from behind, but Hanzo's just not going to offer you anything.
So I think a quicker switch there away from the Hanzo. The problem is when you're doing so well on Hanzo, right, you're getting all these kills, it's going to take you longer to want to switch to actually realize that it's not working out. Sometimes you just blame it on other factors, except that he's actually you the problem.
Well, it is going to be an attack inside for AllStrike here. They have 35 seconds left to go to capture this first point, and so far Key is doing some work on his Mei yet again. So Snake holds strong here. All they do is capture that first point to secure the victory. And is there anyone behind him? I see them turning around looking for something. But Rain on the McCree, looking to do some work here. I would imagine he's going to go for that high ground position. Because I don't see anyone on the other team really getting to him. But 20 seconds left to go. They have to make something happen now. Ponge, 73% on his ultimate. They have a Reinhardt compared to no Reinhardt on the side of AllStrike. It's really hard to miss an Earth Shatter.
Yeah, it's a very diving composition here, but they want to get rid of Ponge early. Ponge's already down to under half health, and Rain is a good position here just to lay down these shots from the Peacemaker. He finds Key, but that's not the job done quite yet. He gets on towards Snake with the Deadeye. That might help a little bit more now. Kill's going in favour of AllStrike as they pressure on towards this point. Flash comes in, fan the hammer. Rain trying to get the heck out of Dodgy. He's got a Zara up his rear end. He gets a couple shots in, but not quite enough to deal with 700. And Snake slowly bring this fight back under their own control.
Well, the Transcendence can be popped at 11-5-20, trying to stall as long as he possibly can. He also has Youngbond there on Lucio, so they can trade off as much as they possibly want. The Death Blossom going to come in with the Graviton Surge. We see the Tracers coming in. Samsara is going to fall. We actually see Fate playing on Soldier because he's trying to run back to this point as quick as he possibly can. But also, I think they're just running out of med. I don't think they have what it takes to hold on to this point.
No, I think they're done there. There it is. It's going to be the jump away, and AllStrike are unsuccessful with their 1 minute to take this first point. Now, it's reasonable to suspect that Snake are going to have the same problems. It's not enough time to really get ults rolling. And as the defensive side, who generally will win that first engagement, they're going to have the ult advantage as well.
The question comes for Snake. Does he play Hanzo again? Does he play fair? We've seen him play fair before. But Hanzo, it's hit or miss. It's high risk, high reward. You pick him and you hit the shots, you're most likely to take the point. But if you pick him and you miss, they're basically forcing yourself to replay the entire map.
I honestly think you take Hanzo here purely because you don't have the time to wait to actually get a reasonable fight on your own terms as a defensive side. The enemy team, more like, unless you get a first point take, is going to have ult advantage. The best way to ensure that you can actually rush, blitz, and get on that point is to take that pick-orientated comp. So I wouldn't mind seeing Roadhog Hanzo here, to be fair. I think it can work.
Just go for like the ultimate, like,
yeah.
If we can catch one of you, then we can win a fight and just snowball that.
It's the best composition for taking a point when no one has ults, in my opinion. One hit kill potential is what's going to be required here. And I mean, you can use McCree in the same way. I mean, you technically get one hit kill potential on most targets with a flash and a fan the hammer, but it's a bit risky, right? Between Hanzo, it's quite safe, and Roadhog, and that means that, if you don't get picks or, you're not going to get full wiped because you're not committing too much. Oh my god.
So I was going to say, like, if you play Hanzo, you're forced the enemy team to play a Reinhardt, but you also have to play a Reinhardt. You can't play a really aggressive composition with like a Zarya and a Winston.
Do you think you have to play Reinhardt just because the enemy has one?
No, it's because they have a Hanzo on the other side that you have to be protective of. To protect your teammates.
Okay,
well, no, because if not because they have a Reinhardt, but because you need to protect your Hanzo so you can get easy shots off. Unless you can rush in and get this high ground. This Symmetra, I don't know how much I feel about this.
Risky.
They have one healing, or sorry, they do have triple support, so they do have 2 healing, but Samsara's by himself to do the damage again.
What's new though? That's what we see quite often from AllStrike here. So now with the boost up here, this is a little bit dangerous for AllStrike because who do they have to challenge this? Just Youngbond, and he's already dead. Mang Mao's picked him off. There's the flash coming in. Samsara's going to fall down. Perfect opening here for Mang Mao. He gets himself yet another one. Oh my lord, the turrets are getting taken down by the man here as well. He's clearing the way for Snake to get onto this point. He's knocked down. The Earth Shatter came up first. Meng Mao's going to go down. East gets on towards Fate, but he eventually falls down to Isaiah, doing his job. There is a teleport in play right now for AllStrike. It's going to be very, very important. It might be what keeps them alive in this one. We're going to be going into overtime now.
Yeah, the teleporter is there. They're going to have the reinforcements of the point is being captured here. Samsara trying to do everything he possibly can on the point, not to mention the nano boost. East coming in, trying to swing away, trying to take 700. He gets his shield back online, but he gets stuck in the planter. He can't jump across when the overtime is ticking down. Who's going to touch the point? No one from Snake. And that means we're going to have a draw, and we're going to a replay of the map.
Meng Mao had a 2-kill on the Deadeye, but couldn't get on towards the point. Maybe he was better off going for a direct approach, maybe boots on the ground instead of going for that one. So, okay.
Well, Mitch, we didn't know if we'd ever hit a draw, and we thought we could go the entire tournament without it happening, but we're going to have it. So the special rules here is, it means going to, like we've been saying, a full replay of the map. So you start from scratch, everyone gets the same time in the beginning, and you see how far you can push.
If you can't hear the excitement in my voice, it's purely just because I'm tired. That was... What are you laughing at, Jason?
Nothing.
To be fair, no, if there's any day that we're okay with having a draw in it, and maybe a longer day, is today. It's short anyway, so the more action we can see between this team, the better, in my opinion. Yeah, that first push was really interesting there. I like the McCree coming in. We kind of talked about that one-hit potential, but maybe didn't really talk about how, if you get that McCree safely boosted up on towards that roof, which is really hard to do from the attacking side because you have to walk all the way around and set up. You can give the defenders a chance to respond if they can scout you going up there. Using the wall is a great way to plonk one there, and you could see that Samsara walked into Mangmao. He wasn't ready for there to be McCree up there, or if he knew there'd be a McCree there, he wouldn't have walked around a corner. He may have wraith formed or just not gone there in general, because the flash came in, found the hammer, and it was done.
He had to go there though, because if he didn't, they had no one to challenge the high ground. Because Youngbong died, remember, on Anna, so they didn't have anyone in the cafe. And then you have to kind of like challenge that. I mean, they did said 700 up there.
But you're walking into a flashbang, right? You know you have to be walking into a flashbang. When the McCree's been playing mid to long range shots at the start of the round up until that point, you know he's got it off cooldown. So maybe you just pick the corner, or you try and fake it, or try and do something to sort of get out of that one there. But I don't know if you commit to that knowing you could just get one hit.
The big saving grace of that entire engagement was East having his Earthshatter up. Because if he didn't catch Mangmao, that could have been really bad. Because he had Deadeye up. He had the opportunity to pull it in from the backside if no one was protecting him. The teleporter of 9139, I guess you can't underestimate how effective that was as well to get people back into the fight. Though I didn't really catch how many people used it to get there.
At least 3.
Okay.
Because we saw him on the camera and it said 5, obviously 5 charges left, and then I saw 2 people at least respawn back in. So the fact that it cut down the time to walk there by about 66% at the very least, well, I think because he had it back behind the...
66.66 repeating, right?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean, by about a third,
Leroy!
Right?
Sorry.
God help me.
Had to go for that one. Yeah.
I mean, I think that made all the difference there.
Considering they're running triple support and Youngbong dies at the beginning, I'm really amazed they held on to that. You lost the majority of your healing, you lost your nano boost, which in turn worked out for them because they had it on the East later on when they did go for the point.
And you notice that all of the turrets of the Symmetra were in one spot, right? They were all over towards that arch. Because there's no point spreading them out. You're not using your turrets at that point to check if you're being flanked out, because obviously you get a notification on the screen that says when one of your turrets has been triggered. It's to get your ultimate as quickly as possible. And it works. I can't fault what was done there by Snake. Really, really nice. I mean, the fight was messy. They didn't fight well. They lost Anna and they lost Reaper straight away. You're pretty much done by that point, but having the TP up that early, great job to the Symmetra there as well. Really helped keep them in that game. Otherwise, it would have been done.
Well, the thing is, 9139 did die in the first engagement too.
Yes.
He just ran back and put the teleporter down. So the fight that was coming after that was being reinforced.
You can still accrue ult percentage while you're dead as a Symmetra. Not many heroes can do that in the game.
Technically, every hero does that.
But not by a time, but by damage done.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I'm just being a jerk. I don't think there's really... Don't really think there's any, except maybe Junkrat with his traps.
Torbjorn can.
Torbjorn, Turret, and Junkrat with traps.
Anything where you have like posthumous infrastructure, so things that don't disappear when you die, obviously. But anyway, point is that now we're going to do it all over again. Basically, pretty simple. Samsara into the backline. See, you can see the speed boost coming out from Youngbong here. Why it's so important. It means that AllStrike don't have to wait for a nano boost to use their Reaper aggressively.
The amount of shots he just he put over to Fate without actually killing him is pretty insane. That shows the amount of healing they're able to do onto him. The Body Grenade as well, with Desire, I think, healing boosting him there. But Key gets the kill on a Youngbong again, and they're pushing for more. They want these kills. The focus on Samsara, though, is really difficult considering he has his Wraith. No, actually, he doesn't have it up because he just used it to escape into the little room, but the timing on that was still really close to actually push for that man to kill. And Rain switched over to Tracer. So they're going for a little bit more of an aggressive composition because they have the Winston, they have the Zarya, they're trying to be really quick paced or fast paced here. The problem is, if you're Winston and they have Mangmao and Reaper, you're not going to survive long.
No, Punk as well. Always the man open up. He gets Rain early, and that's big. Blizzard coming in here for Snake just to give themselves a little bit more safety, a bit of peace of mind over on the point. And yeah, they're going to be pretty comfortable in holding out on this one for the time being. If I'm not mistaken, 11-5-20 just came in and used the Transcendence. Not really sure to what end, as his team was already going to get caught in a Blizzard anyway. It's kind of hard to keep them alive, especially when they were outnumbered and frozen.
We even saw Nano Boost come in out of Fate there onto Pange just to make sure to hold on to the point. But this is where things get interesting. Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Rain, he's got his Pulse Bomb available. Just waiting to hit the right targets. The problem is everyone's relatively tanky and relatively has a good immobility, or not mobility, invincibility. But it doesn't matter. They pick up the kill nonetheless. Samsara picks himself up a double. That had to have been from a Death Blossom. Yes, it was. And not to mention that Anna's just being knocked around Fate. You're finally going to meet yourself. It does finish off here. And not to mention Key, pretty much the last man alive is eventually going to be killed off, and Rain's going to continue to push forward. So any respawns coming back in, Snake's going to have to give this one up. They're not going to contest. I think they're trying to contest at the doorway. Wait, who? Someone's on the point. Oh, never mind.
All right,
It's a spectator bug.
I've got to talk about that for a moment, that fight. Expect Rain to be in a Major League Baseball match near you sometime. Meng Mao dropped down on top of AllStrike in that fight. I believe he either had his ult or was very close to it. Rain caught him with a whole clip and pretty much finished him off in one clip there as he tried to jump down as that Reaper. That completely neutered any ability for Snake to actually win that fight on the basis of pure damage done. That was really impressive. Congratulations to AllStrike there. They're going to make some progress further on now. Kills for Rain. Again, gets into the back line. It's great to see him on this Tracer, actually. It's funny. AllStrike have got such a deep hero pool. We just never see them make the picks. They just get stuck in a rut or maybe in a particular rhythm.
I think it's actually mostly Rain who has the deep hero pool, and everyone else is just kind of like, all right, Rain, you do whatever you want to do.
Samsara is an incredible Zarya, though, as well.
Yeah, Zarya Reaper. And his Genji's a little bit lackluster.
Well, it was back when we saw the
it was stuck. Yeah, that's true.
I haven't seen him on King of the Hill yet, so...
I don't really get to see much King of the Hill here.
Because I can't speak that, because I said Roy was kind of Mao his Genji. He's been sick on it, so...
Well, again, Meng Mao is trying to go straight for East, who's actually been surviving for a hell of a long time, and Samsara trying to go for the death boss, who gets frozen in the midst of this one, and Meng Mao is still being focused down, somehow still alive, and eventually 91-39 will finish him off. Samsara sitting back on the payload. This is a much quicker pace out of AllStrike than we saw before.
Rain is winning this game for his team. Key to fall there, and also Fate going down to his hand. This has forced Key now to switch to McCree because he can't deal with this Tracer as Mei. Rain is tearing Snake to shreds, and they're being forced to respond by switching to this McCree for the flash potential.
The charge comes through. Samsara's able to pick up the kill though on Punga, who just overextends a little bit too far, but the nano boost and the death boss out of Meng Mao's able to pick up one kill with Transcends, was not able to heal them through this one. Now he's being forced to back away to go back to the payload just to make sure to keep it contested for now, but there's just too much there. AllStrike have too many men available. Rain is still not dying ever, it seems. And that payload will cross the line.
I can't overstate how much work Rain is doing right now. Key switches to McCree to deal with Rain. Rain still smashes him. Not only does he smash Key, he smashed Meng Mao right after that. You saw what he was able to do to keep him busy. Now Rain overextends, but that's why you picked the McCree in the first place, to get that flash. AllStrike have still made so much ground. Now they've got 4 minutes in the bank here. Snake, we're in a similar situation that last half of the first time we played this. However, AllStrike have some key ults. They have the Graviton Bomb to work with here. So it's not exactly rocket science, right? One on top of the other, get a bunch of kills, push the payload forward.
Just about all it to Zayu then, if you can hit a sound barrier at the right time. Samsara again, being sneaky, trying to go straight for the Ana, trying to take Fate down, which he eventually will do. The guards are sort of even being used to pull them together. There's the post bomb as well, so the sound barrier does save the lights for a split second, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Snake just falling one by one. Meng Mao is about 96% of his ultimate, but he gets dropped by the Earth Shatter and finished off by 91-39.
And Rain, again, gets both tanks. This is ridiculous. Now, if I was Samsara at the start of that last fight, I actually would have made a beeline for Isaiah. Instead, he goes and kills Fate. I think you want to get rid of the sound barrier potential in that fight with Snake, but again, maybe Samsara just killed whoever he saw. It didn't matter anyway, because Rain still got 4 freaking kills for that fight. This guy is dominating. Snake can't deal with him right now.
Payload's still pushing. Finally, someone's able to contest it here. Meng Mao's going to fall to 11-5-20, who just gets him with the Discord Orb and the headshot. It's Key. It's just trying to send the payload with 28 HP. Somebody's not being finished off, and AllStrike, are they going to do it? Are they finally going to finish with a good amount of time on the board? It doesn't seem like it just yet, because Snake have been able to reinforce. They have all 5 men back alive again, trying to jump back on top of this, and I don't think 91-39 by himself is going to be enough. But the ground search is going to come through. The follow-up is going to be there out of Rain at least.
There. Dogman's there as well. Graviton Surge comes in there, the two of them, and he's been charged up this entire time. He gets both supports yet again, but Key gets a quick double. He gets rid of Rain first and foremost, which is the most important part of that one. Samsara on towards Meng Mao here, and it's still Snake forced to desperately push out, but a disengage coming through. Yongban going to speed AllStrike out.
So the payload 2-3 meters away from finishing off. And Snake, you cannot afford to be this aggressive. You cannot afford to push this far out, because if a Tracer by Rain, even Samsara, just hops on the payload when you're not there, well, you can say goodbye to this map. But finally, the payload is starting to move backwards. You see Rain toward the left and the right-hand side. He's pretty much everywhere on this Tracer, trying to look for an avenue of attack, trying to look for a post one to connect onto the right target. He gets flash banged up. And Key, he gets the kill.
He also breaks the game, apparently, there. Rain will probably switch off this one once he's used his pulse bomb. I think he's struggling. The routes are too prescribed for a Tracer to get on towards this point. But Samsara's got himself 2 quick kills now as well. He's dealing with the squishy targets. Key and Fate are down. Pungay, yet again, seems to be able to turn these situations around on so many occasions. Pulse bomb on him, though. That's going to hurt. Rain is back, and he's in business. Another kill coming on towards him, or towards another tank from him. He will get cut down, and Meng Mao are able to come in with 2. This will stop AllStrike yet again, as Yongban can only stall. See, this Tracer is not really working out so well for Rain anymore, I think.
So the problem I have with Tracer at the end is that you can't kill people quick enough unless you have your pulse bomb. Genji, at least you have the reset mechanics. You have a big snowball factor that you can catch people off guard with. So we saw this on Temple of Anubis before as well, where Tracer just couldn't seem to do too much. And
look at there's three doors that a Tracer can come through if she wants to flank. It's not enough, really. It's too obvious. It's too prescribed. This could be a nasty Deadeye. Just Beast going down here for Key. But the 1 for 0 now, not a bad start. It's a good flash in there as well. Rain gets on towards Meng Mao, though. The other McCree on the other side of things is doing work, but still, Key and Fate combining quite nicely. Yongbard having to back away yet again. Both of these two teams have struggled so much on this point, and now AllStrike need to come up with something a little bit different, or just make what they have work. They've got the Graviton here, they've got the Transcendence. Let's see if they can put them together.
They need to finish. Like, they finished in overtime last time, and that at least guarantees a minimum of a draw with a chance to full hold on first point if Snake does finish with extra time allotted. But Youngblood looking towards the side again. They're going to speed them back up. Isaiah's getting really close to his sound barrier, and Fate pops his Oedipus right off the bat. But who's it on to? I'm assuming it's going to be Pongay, who's actually charging up his ultimate at 92%. He has an Earthshatter available. That could be enough to turn the tides of the fight if they lose this one. But Samsara pops the Death Boss, and the sound barrier is going to keep them relatively healthy. Only able to snowball that kill into one as he finally takes Meng Mao down. And Lucio on the point, trying to distract, trying to buy some extra time. 700 is going to fall, and now Isaiah is just hoping that he doesn't fall.
Oh, that shot coming in from Samsara could hurt now. You see Fate trying to get on towards the payload, but he gets cut down first. AllStrike, they get it done. I've got to say, 11-5-20, that Transcendence was clutch as heck. Samsara was outnumbered. There was another Reaper plugging at him, but the Transcendence comes in to keep him alive. Samsara survives. He goes in with the Death Blossom. Despite there being a sound barrier over that fight coming out from Snake, he's still able to squeeze the extra damage across the line, and finally AllStrike breakthrough and set actually a time with some in the bank. 35 seconds remain for them.
35? That's...
Or thereabouts,
14.
Anyway.
14
really?
seconds.
Really?
I mean, the fact that it's still under a minute kind of shows how clutch, how close that was in the end. And I mean, they could be happy about that, yes, but Snake still looked relatively good. They had the same problems as you pointed out on the final point, having like 4 minutes and 20 seconds to push, and they were still held the entire time, though I would imagine Key won't be sticking to Hanzo if they do get to that final area. He's probably going to switch up to something else.
Well, I like how it works for the first point. You can see why it's so good, and the second is also fine. The streaks phase, because you can easily access those high vantage points and do damage from there relatively unscathed, especially up against a lineup like AllStrike, who doesn't always have the tools to deal with high ground control. I think they had a Reaper and an Ana, right? You can't contest that. You need to use the elevators. It's not efficient. So that's an idea. I think Hanzo works fine, but the last point, it's a bit of a problem because you can't get in a position where you have that safety. You can't just leisurely plink arrows into them like Cupid. So maybe something a little bit more front-loaded in terms of its damage, or at least in your face, will be a better pick for Key in that last area. I wouldn't even be upset if you played Pharah. Use Pharah to get up on top of the balcony, then come around behind on that final point and lay some damage down around the caravans. But Hanzo's fine for me on the first 2 points if you can make it work.
I feel like Pharah can be a little bit risky on the final point.
Sure.
Because, well, AllStrike have nowhere to really go. Like, they're not going to spread out ever, right? They're all going to be grouped up, and when the entire team focuses you down, even if they don't have a McCree or don't have a sniper or Zenyatta, they can still take you out relatively quickly.
Sure.
But we need to see Snake adapt for the most part, and we did see finally AllStrike do that when they're attacking for their second, well, technically third time. Symmetra again?
Yep. Coming out from AllStrike here, this time in normal time. So they're thinking if they can get that TP going, they can get themselves maybe an extra hold, maybe even more than that. See how it plays out. Again, you can see, look at 9139's ult percentage meter. Look at that, the ball goes through. He hit 2 people with the right click. That's huge, absolutely massive. And now, a little bit more damage, maybe some turrets re-erected around this point. Yep, gonna bang one there next to the bush. And he's gonna have his TP before the first fight even starts.
It's free energy for 700 though, that's the one downside to this. And Snake needs to switch over to a Tracer to deal with the teleporter once it does get actually placed, which it currently is. Now Key, back into the high ground again. We saw him McCree before, picked himself up a double kill and did work. And 11-5-20 is actually on the higher ground, and finally able to overrun here with Rain on the Zarya, just completely smashing him on that top side.
Now Samsara does have a Harmony Orb, but again, he's going to be focused down by multiple targets here. Meng Mao is commanding quite nicely with 700 here. A lot of energy going over to Rain in that instance, but he's still outnumbered. Transcendence comes in. I would have liked to see that when Samsara was here, because there's no DPS player for AllStrike on the point currently. Still, sometimes 11-5-20 can do that job on his own with those orbs coming in. He takes Meng Mao low, but you can see, lacking damage. Fate goes down. The TP is active here, and Samsara now, the problem is, they're out of sync. When Samsara's on the point, his team's not.
How have they not killed 11-5-20? He's just been playing Zen from the doorway here, and he's on defense. He's playing so aggressively, so in the backlines. Key's been forced back. Key didn't even go for the teleporter, and 9139 has gotten all 6 charges used. An AllStrike hold. I don't know how the hell they did that. That should just not happen.
So that's what I'm saying about that extra fight, that extra hold, right? That's what the teleporter enabled them to do. I was a little bit dim on Samsara being there without his team because all the tanks were left without him, and then they died, and Samsara was there with no tanks, but you had the Death Blossom, so it mitigates that to a great degree. All right, Nano Boosted Reinhardt going to come in here. 9139 needs to keep a respectable distance from him. But look, he's always got another teleporter available. He can't quite put the Reinhardt on a leash, though, and it's going to be Pungay to get himself quick. 2 kills. Samsara finds Meng Mao, though, so even if Pungay didn't go down there in that occasion, he'd still have to respect that there's a Reaper at large.
And Zaya got, I think you mentioned it got dropped by 9139 right before that fight began, so they didn't have the speed, they didn't have the healing, and Snake are really struggling here. They have a minute and 50 seconds left just to capture the first point. Like you mentioned, teleporter is available for 9139, though he's sticking to it for now. He's putting it somewhere more tricky, so it can't be taken down by Key. And they've gotten rid of the Hanzo completely.
And it's roughly about the same travel distance as well. I mean, you're just going to jump down. Might add like maybe 1-2 seconds, so that's worthwhile. I've never seen that spot used for teleporter before, so thanks to 9139, I'm taking that into my games. For now, Snake attacking it again. They have ults for the DPS players, and they have, of course, a Earth Shatter there. So they've made a lot of ground already as well. You can see how close they've been able to push towards the point without the shield going down. But look at this. Might be AllStrike making the engagement here. Transcendent's going to come over the top, but someone's getting left behind. It was the Ana going down. Key gets 2 with that one. Nice pulse pop being used. Oh, Key's all over it. Samsara falls to him as well. And that is a solid fight for Snake. Now, AllStrike may not even have time to respawn with the teleporter in there because they all die at the same time.
Bastion.
And they can't stall this out.
They got a Bastion. It looks like they're going to get this one up, but they're going to play from the high ground. Youngbon, or is he going to play from the side? They're going to have a man to touch the point in time? No. So he's just going to stick to the Bastion?
I think Youngban picked this thinking that they would go to stall. See, look at him now. Look at this behavior. You don't do this if you want to stay alive. At all. So, yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. I mean, the timing was a bit tricky, but Youngban doesn't want to play Bastion on this rest of this map. So, he can't go out to spawns too far. Goes in, hopes to maybe get a kill. But all he does there is die and gives a little bit of percentage over towards the supports there. Fate actually has, as a result of that, his result ready to go.
Imagine, yeah, 9139 was still sticking to Symmetric because he didn't want to run in and die as well, because if both of them had fallen, then they would have been completely pushed out of this entire phase. So I'm imagining he's going to be switching. They still don't have a Lucio, though.
Oh my god, Meng Mao, what the heck are you made of, son? That wasn't even an ultimate there. He just got himself 5 kills straight out of nowhere.
But taking advantage, I don't know, of AllStrike being in a bad position. I don't even know what that was, how they were able to pick up those kills so quickly. Maybe the overcommitment by them. But 9139 has now switched over to the Maze. So they've gotten rid of the Symmetra, which had done a lot of work. It's actually already close to teleport yet again. And not to mention the Pulse Bomb combo. The Maze going to be able to shield that one off. But you know what? Rain's not so lucky.
Yeah, no, Key going to be able to just search around the back here as well with Rain falling down. Youngban and Samsara not far behind. Key's causing problems now the same way that Rain did. It seems like neither of these teams can really deal with the Tracer. And with AllStrike not really often or playing a McCree, at least in this instance, Key can run rampant for most of the game until their response is forthcoming from AllStrike.
Yeah, we're probably going to see Rain. I would imagine, the thing is, you can't get rid of your Reaper in this situation, right? But you want a McCree, and Rain's the McCree player, but then you don't have a Zarya. So I don't know, maybe 9139 will be the one to flex to Zarya, which he has been able to do before. Samsara, you're just dead. You might as well like let it happen and just get the respawn back in. I just wonder if they're going to switch. If Key's going to stick to this Tracer, they need some sort of answer, but at the same time, Key really can't do much. He doesn't have a lot of room to just dance around with. Even if you get behind him, you're still going to get swarmed.
This point, I think, is where it gets a little bit, like, for Hanzo, it's the same reason, really. I guess you just don't have safe routes in and out of that enclosure.
Wait. Look at Ponga. Look at the wireframe. He's up towards the top right. If they get engaged on by AllStrike,
he's just spotted.
Okay, I was going to say, he's just going to Earthshatter down behind them. So, good read. Good job by East to actually spot him out. But the Earthstrike comes in anyways, and not to mention, Ponga gets the kill to 9139, but no, he actually gets the shield up in time, and Meng Mao only gets 1 kill.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pungay manages to find Rain, and that could have been a chance, actually, for AllStrike there. They managed to bait out the ult and not lose anyone off the back of it straight away, but Key, man, 2 kills for him, beats it going down, or East, should I say. A bit of both, let's be honest. And the payload is on the way. It's going to be AllStrike with 1 more chance. They've got 3 ults to work with. There's probably going to be a nano-boosted Reaper straight out the gates here. He won't have a shield because there's no Zarya on the side of AllStrike. Rain still on that Tracer now. He switched over.
He got hit almost by a pulse bomb there. Samsara's actually getting ulted up, and not to mention the Death Blossom coming through, but he's taken up by Meng Mao. He doesn't have a chance to pick up a single kill, and now that's going to be the Blizzard finally coming down to the point, but as long as they secure these last 1 or 2 kills, they're going to be able to finish this one off. 9139 picks himself up, a double kill. The Earthshatter coming out of Ponga. The charge is, well, not going to hit, but it doesn't matter. The damage has been done, the payload's crossed in the line, and Snake finish with 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Right. If you want to realistically hold that last point, and you want to try and kill 5 people really quickly, you're going to use a Reaper and a Nano Boost. But Rain was still stuck in the mindset of, we're going to stall, not kill them all, that he switches over to Tracer. He was playing Zarya. All he has to do, he doesn't need to Graviton that. Shield Samsara, let him ult, get 3-4 kills, and you can hold there. There was, again, this team is of 2 minds, right? Half of them are like, we're going to put the Reaper in there to get a bunch of kills and wipe them out. Rain's like, oh crap, we're going to lose the game, I need a stall. and he switched towards Tracer. Azaya shield is all that Samsara needed. You saw what happened. He goes in, and he doesn't get any kills. He gets picked up.
If Rain didn't switch to Tracer, I don't think they would have been able to contest the payload to allow Samsara to get in.
I'm pretty sure they could have, because Rain died after Samsara did and spawned after him as well.
I don't know, I have to watch it back again. I don't know. Either way, the point's still valid. They're still not helping Samsara excel the way we saw them do before against their match versus RG Fire.
That's why there's always something missing, right? It's either there's a Reaper, right? But there's no Ana boost. Or whenever there's an Ana, there's no Reaper.
Or no Lucio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. So AllStrike now probably should be wiping their smiles off their faces because Snake pushing really nicely. Pungay has been incredible this game. He's the reason they broke past the first point. That Earth Shatter towards the end was just what the Doctor ordered for Snake to get across the line in the middle. And now, we could be here for a while. We could still be doing another iteration of this game, ladies and gentlemen. Don't rule anything out. But 3 minutes is a lot for Snake to at least take the first point. Please tell me it's possible.
AllStrike have a minute. And, I mean, you pretty much need this. Like, to have to hold for 3 minutes of time is going to be really ridiculous. They were able to do it, actually, I think, in the last half. Able to maintain the hold of the point. We actually got relatively close, but look at Key. He's hitting headshots. You see the health bars just melting through, and they're able to pick the first kill already. Gosh. If he gets armor starting to go for his team, I don't really see a way AllStrike's going to successfully take this point. Rain, why are you not on Tracer? His Tracer was a key instrument for them successfully taking the point last time.
Well, and when AllStrike were in overtime last time, they did play the McCree. It got 2 picks, and it still didn't really allow them to take the point. It wasn't quite enough there. So we'll see if it works out. Samsara going to press forward. Just around the corner, it's going to be shield up in front. This is the last push. They've got a Transcendence. That's pretty good here. But the Nano Boost is going to come in. Great charge coming through, though. Pungay yet again makes it happen. He gets on towards East. The guy is just unstoppable. Perfect tank work from him, really. And now Key going to pressure him from the backside. He does have the Molten Core going. You have to see if he gets a few kills from it. 700 gets himself 2. And it should be Snake holding on now in overtime. Great Graviton. And Snake hold AllStrike off.
700 instead of left-clicking, instead of right-clicking there on the Zara. He punches Rain to death in the Graviton Surge. And now they've held. And now what to do? Cross the first checkpoint, secure it, and you have a 1 map lead. However, if they can't capture it, Mitch, go into another replay of the map.
Yeah, that is possible. Okay, one thing.
You sound so excited.
One thing though, right? We saw. I wonder if teams have thought about this, right? When you see a Torbjorn, you saw that Torbjorn turret at the start of the map where it was placed, sort of quite a long way out and away from the rest of from Snake. What if you could use that Torbjorn turret as the attacking team to get a quick Ana roll, right? You put someone out there, let him peek into the turret a little bit, back him away, heal him through the turret damage constant. Pretty sure you can out-heal it with Ana, and then you have a nano boost as soon as you attack the first point.
I don't think it does enough damage to make it worthwhile to take that extra chip, because that's cool. Your Reinhardt
and you're giving Torbjorn ult anyway, but I mean...
And your Reinhardt has to take a shield down, or your Zarya has to peek and take damage. Like, they don't have a Roadhog, that they have a huge health pool to just heal up, because armor mitigates a lot of the damage that a Torbjorn turret will do. So you have to throw Zarya in there, and it's risky, because if you get too low, then the enemy team can engage on you, or they can just force a fight anyways.
That was worth a try.
I mean, no, it's not bad theory crafting. Like, we've had teams do this where they actually let their tanks soak damage because they want an Ana boost, and we've had teams not shoot.
That's how I used to work with Mercy.
Yeah, they've actually done it so they've not shot the enemy team.
I'm sorry, I want to cut you off, Jason, but this is, well, I mean, this is desperation. It's a last-ditch effort now for AllStrike to push up. They've got to hold for 2-3 minutes. This is like the missions in all the games, like all the missions you hate in those games, where you have to hold out, I guess, against like a horde of enemies for like 5 minutes before you get reinforcements. This is what this is going to feel like for AllStrike. Wave upon wave of Snake is going to break upon them, and they are going to need to be able to resist and weather the storm.
Look again, 11-5-20, more than happy to sit up towards this high ground, which Key is actually really respecting. He's given up a lot of ground for this position. They already lost their Reinhardt shield. Plung is have to wait for that to recharge, and not to mention 91-39 again. These right clicks have caught Key, and he has help yet again. But you can see he's not put on the high ground this time because he doesn't have the time to do it. He doesn't have the ability to run back and do that because they didn't get a reset on the fight, and Key just hasn't really been able to build up much ult percent. But Snake are taking their time. 2 minutes left. AllStrike have been able to delay for 1.
Yeah, I mean, they probably want to build up some key ultimates here as well. Maybe even draw out some of those teleporter charges as well. So trying to poke, trying to get kills with the minimum investment would be ideal.
Go right side. You heard the teleporter being played. Go kill it, and then go through the back of Cafe. Instead, you run straight to the Cafe, trying to go straight onto Ana, try to take Youngbang down, and he looks for him. He misses him for a split second. The Nabus has been used anyways. Youngbang's finally going to fall. And so far, 2 kills for Snake.
Okay, this is good. That was a decent Earth Shatter. Well, what a surprise. It's Pungay as well. In my opinion, one of the best Reinhardts in this whole tournament. Key going to go in with the Pulse Bomb there. Does it catch on? Not quite. Samsara had already fallen.
Bro.
Here's the TP. Yeah, I mean, he got distracted from it, to be fair. But, man, he could have gone for that a lot earlier on and dealt with it. Transcendence now coming in for AllStrike, and they should be able to hold on here.
20 left to go here. Midge, AllStrike are looking like they could potentially launch this. They have the Graviton Surge. Samsara is about to have his Death Blossom. East was forced to use his Earth Shadow in that last fight, so they're not going to have it for a long time. And Snake, they're going to have a Sound Barrier, Graviton Surge, maybe a Nano Boost. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Samsara has been playing so well this entire series, this entire day for the most part. And I'm sure he's in the right position. I think he's on the high ground. Finally, Key does take the teleporter down, but most of the charges are already used.
Well, now it's going to be a Sound Barrier coming in for Snake. They realize they're starting to run out of time. Oh my god, that's 60%. Samsara as well gets himself a Death Blossom over that fight. There's no way you can stand up to that. 70% already. This is ungodly.
Welcome to a Graviton Surge with the Symmetra. You talk about the Wombat combos with Dragon Strike. A right click does a hell of a lot of damage to the entire enemy team. And Snake are on their last attack. But luckily for them, they do have a lot of ultimates up. They have the Wombat combo from Graviton Surge and Full Spawn. And AllStrike, they committed a lot of ultimates into that last fight. And
AllStrike don't have a Lucio, so they can't mitigate burst damage at all with Sound Barrier. That's important. This is where Snake can break them here. And that's because AllStrike brought in the Symmetra. One of the supports has to generally suffer here. So, pressing forward, getting rid of turrets as we go through. Now the speed boost coming in. The Graviton needs to be sharp. The Pulse Bomb, only one person caught. The Graviton, though, the combo's wasted. It wasn't a well-placed Graviton Surge at all, but Mengmao's made up for it. Gets himself 4 kills over the top. He's finally broken through, and now just the Symmetra left standing. But the teleporter is active. It is in play. Where is it? Mengmao's going to have to be ready to hold it here. I don't know if there's enough time for AllStrike anyway. They've got to go regardless. They're going to have to make something happen. Key even switching over as well, using the Maywell to actually allow them to get a little bit further in so they don't take too much ship damage. And they're rushing back to point, using the Transcendence. Key, where are you? Where is this Bastion? They need you right now because they're losing men. Finally, Samsara's able to chime in, taking Ponga down. We're in overtime. Samsara picks up a double. He's going to push forward. He's got 700. Key doesn't have a chance. And that's going to be it. We're going into another replay of the map. Oh. You think it's funny, boys, don't you? You think it's real funny.
Remember, you said you said earlier today, oh great, so since IG Fire's out, we're going to have a quick day. Little did we know, we're not.
Now I know what it feels like to feel like Samsara does. Now I have his expression on. Snake, you could have won the game at multiple occasions. Oh, okay, so luckily I have 3 days so that my voice will recover after this. Hopefully it's still there.
I mean, you never know. We might be still playing 3 days from now. That's right. Oh.
This situation works well for you, Jason, because he just enjoys seeing my anguish. But let's talk a little bit more about Snake's anguish.
You have to keep in mind, I might be enjoying your anguish, but I'm here as well with you.
Yeah, well, you used to have a voice. You know how to not yell all the time. Oh, here's the point, right? We talked about Key not maybe using that Tracer as effectively as he could have on the attack. You wanted him to go around the side and flank a little bit, and then you wanted him to go for the teleporter, which is ultimately what allowed AllStrike to recover. They got fully wiped, and everyone within a couple seconds of each other still had enough time to spawn back in and take the freaking teleporter in. So we saw Key get a little bit distracted by the Ana there as well. He did also look over the fight and see there was a Transcendence and a lot of things happening, so he's all of a sudden like, okay, maybe I need to be involved in this, but perhaps prioritizing the teleporter a little bit highly, but it didn't matter because he got destroyed anyway, and then 91-39 got another one back.
So, I'm just 91-30. I want to okay. I want to see Snake not get wrecked by Symmetra orbs. They're so slow, they're easy to dodge, and yet they got hit time and time again, feeding like 30%, 40, 50% every single time. It was like Graviton Surge, you can't avoid it, whatever.
It's like being trapped in jelly.
But they got but they got hit by so many free-floating orbs that it just doesn't make sense. You should just not be hit by stuff like that. I can understand if you're trying to soak like Zarya, like energy, but no. The Symmetra should not work well there.
And I'm going to add to this as well. To get the wipe ultimately there for Snake, they used like 3 ults. They had a lot of ults build up. You said they did. So the Graviton Surge comes in. You have a Pulse Bomb. They don't have a Lucio. You've got them where you want them. The Graviton Surge gets the one Reinhardt, and then Mengmao has to use his Death Blossom to actually get the team wipe, which he does well. Credit to him. But can you just imagine there being an alternate reality where the Graviton Surge hits more than one person, Pulse Bomb kills like 3, and then you have a Death Blossom ready for the next wave of reinforcements?
To be fair, if we're going to be nitpicky, the fact that they didn't, after wiping them, kill the teleporter, then come back and hold the point was a big mistake too. Because you let them respawn back in, you let them have a second chance, instead of just pushing forward, kill the teleporter. Like maybe 1 or 2 people came back in, but if you finish off the teleporter, they're not going to get the full reinforcements.
Right, because like
there's so many ways we can nitpick the entire series we've had so far in Hollywood.
Point is, like, if you still have that Death Blossom when the teleporters come back in, AllStrike are running through the cafe, all through the same route, right? You have a Zarya, shield that Reaper up. You have enough time for that shield to come off cooldown after the fight anyway, and AllStrike can't disengage from that. They can't defend themselves against that at all. They're going to lose at least 3 people. Like, they wouldn't have had a Transcendence. They probably wouldn't have had an Earthshadow. I don't know. I'm just saying that there are things that you can at least see the Jenga blocks that were pulled out here that brought it all coming down. I think.
I think there was a lot more mistakes than we probably want to actually mention on air for both teams, and more than they probably want to mention. But when you're kind of at a high-pressure situation, when you're in overtime, and knowing that if you don't cap the point, you have to play the map again, I think you tend to make a lot of mistakes in that situation. Like there's no way you can prevent mistakes from like that happening.
No, I think so. I think that they're going to creep in over the longer that you play.
I mean, listen to our casting. We're making mistakes this whole time, and we're not even playing.
More mistakes creep in the longer you play or cast. It's just the way it goes. But so we're going to see it again.
I don't know if we have a break now. I'm not being told. We're not being told anything. So I don't know if we have a break. If we let them have a break after playing.
I'm not sure.
Because one of what was it?
I think the players at least should get a break.
Yeah, because AllStrike played the last series against IG Fire, where it went 2 maps, and then now they're playing into this, where it's already been 2 maps technically, and we have to go to a third before we even finish the first map.
That's right.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll be told. We'll just talk.
I think they should just flip a coin. What do you reckon, Blizzard?
It's like, see, now I realize. What was it? Like one of the longest games in Counter-Strike history went like 80-something rounds. It went into like 10 overtimes. It was like between 2 United Kingdom teams.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, actually, I know one of the players. I think his name is Pulse. That was on one of the teams that played that match. But casting like an extended series like that has to be. I'm trying to think of any other game that
we had a really long,
like that.
We had a really long series. Well, didn't we have some very long games back? Sort of back towards beta in Overwatch? Didn't we have some fairly drawn-out affairs when we're still trying to find out how to actually declare a winner before Blizzard? Because I remember we were trying to. Okay, yeah, there you go. No hero limit. King of the Hill. Overtimes. Yeah, 5 traces.
The overtimes didn't last as long as this series has, though. At least
that's true.
But I know what you mean. Yeah.
To be fair, we've been doing this a while now, Jason. It's been over a year since we've been casting this game.
We missed our anniversary.
We did. Yeah, I saw it on my Facebook, actually. I don't know why. It said, like, you posted this a year ago.
I bought you chocolates, but...
Really? Did you eat them?
Of course.
Every time.
Of course. You think chocolates going to get past me? Look at me.
You never take me out anymore. You never buy me nice things.
You never look at me during.
Where have I gone? You turn the light off. Where have I gone wrong, Jason? I don't even know. I mean, okay, back on topic.
Yeah, let's get back on topic.
How much more can we really talk about this map?
It's all becoming one blur now, right? I'm trying to look individual plays and try to remember like what happened and what kind of caused these situations.
Let's start talking about how you can exploit the fact that a Symmetra is present on a defending team. Let's talk about that because...
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no, that's fine. Mate,
no.
Fine. You want me to do it? I'll tell you.
It's easy to exploit it. Like the fact that, we talked about this the whole time for AllStrike, right? They run, was it on King's Row earlier? I think it was King's Row. They had only him... No. It was on Bondi. Only him on DPS. And in the same situation, running 3 supports, 2 who can heal, and you have a Symmetra, he's the only DPS. Yeah. Maybe get like a McCree in there to flashbang up and kill him instantly. Meng Mao did decently well on Reaper. I still kind of look back to the whole, you should not get hit by those right-click orbs. They're giant balls coming at you, super slowly like an Austin Powers, the steamroller that goes over the person. Have you seen the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No!
Yeah, and he's like sitting there for like 10 minutes screaming. That's exactly what I'm seeing here. And I wish someone would Photoshop that sent to me.
Wasn't that the guy that always ends up in grisly situations and then like awkwardly is still like, I'm actually still alive, but I'm in pain, and when he falls down the hill? So I think my leg is broken.
No, that was Will Ferrell. This was a security guard guy who was in Mad TV. I can't remember his name. He was Stewie. He was Stewie. Or Stewart. Yeah, he was Stewart.
Oh, I don't remember now. I'm devastated. Was it that I will get you a cup of orange sherbet? Was that guy?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is the sherbet guy. Anyway, well, looks like we're not too far from getting back into this one. The teams themselves are preparing. But yeah, we're talking about Symmetra. You also have one less support. Which is
you have one less DPS.
Well, in that case, it was one less support. There was no Lucio.
No, they had Lucio, they had Lucio, Ana, and Symmetra, didn't they?
Not that time.
Okay, one of the times they did.
Yeah,
they ran triple support with Samsara on Reaper.
Correct. That's right, but this time they had a McCree as well or something. They had another DPS or another tank there. So, because remember we were saying they have no Lucio right now as well. So how are you going to deal with the Pulse Bomb combo? Well, luckily for them, no one ever got hit by the Pulse Bomb when it came in.
Well, no one got hit by the Graviton Surge.
Don't even get me started.
To allow that to happen. Yeah, I think we're a little tilted. But at least we're having some good games, though. At least they're coming down to some really key plays, and we're seeing a lot of... Well, I mean, this is the thing about Overwatch, right? Is that since we had, like, best of threes be the majority of all the games, we never have these really long series that test the team's mental fortitude in terms of staying focused for this long period of time. Like, in League of Legends, for instance, you have, like, 40, 50, 70-minute-long games. you don't get the ability to test that in Overwatch, and we're seeing it here with this whole replay mechanic.
Well, look, I mean, it's a pretty intense game to play anyway. You know, some games have peaks and troughs, you know, like slow points and rounds and things like that.
Yeah.
Overwatch is a rolling game type, which takes its toll, which means that maybe a 10-minute game can feel like a 30-minute
dynamic
game.
What was the term we used in our Overdrive episode?
Oh, I don't remember. It's a dynamic environment. I don't know, but it is dynamic. Well, purely on definition, it's a move and payload. That's some dynamic stuff going on right there. So we're going to go back into Hollywood for the third time. Excuse me. And
it's funny, I was talking to one of the producers earlier, and they're like, we hope it doesn't go to a long day, because I think a lot of people already have plans. Well, sorry guys, we're going to a long day, because this is still...
It's a Sunday night in Shanghai.
Drinks?
Yeah, I need some water, to be fair, and some lemonade. But anyway, 91-39, Bastion to start with here. So, I mean, to be fair, as a shock troop, as, you know, throwing something in, mixing things up, this could be quite good. Of course, Key's doing this, of course. Let's see what 91-39 can do with this Bastion. I can't talk too much here, Jason. I'm going to preserve my voice. Take it away.
Well, he's looking for the Torbjorn, but Pangay again comes up big, gets a charge onto him. Key's going to be taken down towards the backside by East, and Meg Mao is doing work to help counter this one. 11-5-20, securing that turret, but Samsara, he's just looking for Meg Mao. He wants that big, juicy target, and well, for now, he's not going to have it, but in the meantime, AllStrike have been successfully attacking this point. Already halfway through on the capture, Meg Mao pretty much by himself tries to go for Samsara, and eventually he's not going to be able to pull off anything. And now 91-39, switching from the Bastion over onto the Tracer.
See, guys, it's that easy. It's just do that again when we go to the inevitable overtime. Just do that.
The thing is, like, the longer the series goes on, the more likely you are to make mistakes, and I think that's maybe what's happening for Snake there, is that it should have been a little bit easier to hold on to.
The thing is...
Diva.
Pungay charged 700 in Bastion because he needed to deal with that very quickly. So he was traded out, right? You trade a Bastion for their Reinhardt, that's pretty worthwhile, and then you sort of make life hard for them there. But Mang Mao got baited by the fact that Samsara was asleep. He died as a result of that one. It wasn't even a trade. And now Snake, well, they're behind an old advantage. This is what happens when AllStrike win the first fight so hard. 3 quick kills, and now the Molten Core Torbjorn going to fall there as well. Key just not quite hot enough to deal with the heat being brought in by AllStrike. Mang Mao eventually going to fall there as well to Rain, and this is a much faster speed. But really, both these teams have had most of their problems in the last stage, in regulation time, and of course on that first point in overtime.
Snake had 3 ultimates up. They left Key on Torbjorn because he had his Molten Core almost available. He's like, alright, well, I might as well just use it because I can do some serious work. I can act as like a pseudo Reaper, and when we have Meg Mao already playing Reapers. Key, what was that flashbang? He throws it into a box, and now he's being forced back here. He's not really able to provide a quick kill on anyone, but luckily for him, Meg Mao's going to be there to pick himself up a double, and he's going for the right click onto East. He's just thrashing his arms around, trying to do something in Primal Rage for him. But Snake will hold. They'll finally put up a good defense, but you have to ask again, how long will it last? How many? I think the game comes down to not who's necessarily better, it's how many mistakes you make. And the team that makes the least mistakes here, I think, will win this map.
Look at this. Key feels like he has enough time to actually wait for this to come down. I guess it stands to reason. AllStrike don't have any long range potential at all.
That's one of those moments where you close your eyes and you're just like, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, I'm invincible, I'm invincible, I'm invincible.
Yeah, AllStrike don't have anything to actually kill him though. If you look at maybe, well, not
91-39.
Yeah, I guess he has to jump on top of him though as well. He's still a long way away. Key goes down. He eventually gets up on the high ground there as well. But again, Meng Mao going to get pinned up against the wall. That's a far better start. Seeing Meng Mao and Pungay on the wrong side of the kill feed is a good thing for AllStrike, because I swear, Snake have been carried by those two. They are ridiculously good. Pungay always, not only does he hit charges, which is something in itself, but he always finds the right target as well. Nicely done. But AllStrike is still going to get across the line here. Samsara has an ult ready to go. And AllStrike are able to take advantage of situations. They've pretty much always had ult advantage in this game thus far, and they're still getting kills. They're still staggering spawns out for Snake here.
Yeah, they're just completely rolling over Snake. I mean, even with the fight that Snake did win, they still lost control when Key got picked off by 91-39, and then they lost Pongay, and Meng Mao eventually did die in that one. And Rain does have Graviton Surge, but they do have Samsara for the Death Blossom. Now I imagine he's going to be on the high ground. He's being forced back by the presence out of Snake. Oh. Fate, well, they only have one Ana in the game, but he's looking for that nano boost. It's just coming down to who's going to be the target. It's probably going to be Meng Mao, but somehow, why is Pongay on the high ground? What are they doing up there? The Graviton Surge again, the second time only hits one person.
I don't know why Pungay's up there. It wasn't even an Earth Shatter play. I think he just wanted to get a charge from behind or something like that. Well, Transcendence now coming out. It's now expired, so Samsara needs to get locked down. He's done with this all quickly. He does 2 quick kills. That's perfect. It's Iron Meng Mao falling down. I need a little bit more off the back of that, because somehow Pungay again stays alive and gets a kill and helps his team spawn back in and delays even longer. Impressive stuff. Rain now going to be pressured out. He's almost got a Graviton Surge though as well. Look at his positioning. He's in a good spot to make a very nasty Graviton happen right here. 91-39, chases on to Pungay, finds a kill, and now just getting the troll on. Oh, Key's going to have to back away into his spawn to heal up, as 91-39 made himself rather scarce, and now doing the same again. Making sure he can get healing from the Harmony or behind him. Oh, look at that shutdown, Meng Mao. That's what happens when you go in without a Zarya shield.
tried going in for an individual play for a big play. The charge going to land again. I don't think it actually killed anyone this time, but East able to take down Fade, and 700 doesn't have a ground toss, so he's going to get pulled into the opposing one, but he has Ponge there off to the side, a sleeping monkey behind him, and well, he's not going to be alive for much longer as AllStrike are just continuing to bash the heads in of Snake.
Samsara now flashed away, but he actually gets himself to safety as he lands on the ground. He's looking for that McCree. He knows he needs to deal with him. He knows his flash is down. This is the opening he's looking for now, and Key can't do anything. Lacking that key part of his kit, the stun, well, he's going to have to fall pretty darn quickly. And AllStrike, okay, looks like they're getting better as we go. The Earth Shadow just to make sure there's no contest. And I point the finger at Meng Mao. I talked him up so much in that map, but then he tries to go 1v5 with a Death Blossom and no Zarya shield on him. Exactly what I was critical of Samsara for. And he died straight away. And then his Zarya came out and was like, whoa, we done, boys.
Everyone on the side of AllStrike is happy, except one man. I'll give you 2 guesses, but I bet you only need 1.
Oh, it's Samsara, of course.
Yeah, of
but
course.
I tend to think like he just looks really lost in thought all the time. I think as a Reaper player as well, maybe he's just tunnel visioned. I'm not sure. I don't think he doesn't play bad. I'm not saying that's like a bad quality in terms of his gameplay, but maybe he's just very focused on his job and that role to pick off those key targets.
The way he's holding his mouse too, like, really freaks me out.
Claw grip?
No, it's not necessarily the grip. It's just the fact that like half his arm isn't even touching the actual desk. I mean, Mitch can see it where it's like resting on his wrist, but the rest of his elbow is like under the desk or something. I mean, you want your whole arm above the mouse pad instead of any of it below, because then it creates an odd angle and it's slow to move. But
well, Samsara, oh, okay.
That's for all the casters out there. It's like, sorry guys, we'll end it here. Don't worry, we have 3 minutes and 13 seconds on the board.
I don't know about you guys. I can cast this game all day now. Bit of motivation there. I think, well, no, to be fair, I think on the Samsara topic, it's just what you're used to playing. He does have a really high sensitivity, if you notice, so he can play with just his wrist. But it's an interesting way to balance it. I kind of cut blood flow off at some point, I feel, but... Alright,
that's why he doesn't play like a lot of McCree or Tracer or Genji. Maybe that's why he doesn't play a lot of McCree, Tracer, Genji.
Well, I think
ones that more rely on aim.
McCree's better for low sense, in my opinion. I think Genji, Tracer, or high sense, more better for high sense there, because you're often turning around or doing circles or something like that, whereas McCree, you want to be set up to sort of take easier shots. I prefer McCree as a low sense player, but now let's do it. Let's go for what this will be the 6th half of this map.
What if we go into another replay of the map, Mitch?
Then it happens. I'm just going with it now. I mean, it's just funny by this point, but I mean,
I'm glad I still have food next to me to eat if I need.
At least these teams are doing different things every time, right? Point in case. Is that a Pharah? You better believe it.
Pharah and a Mercy. Okay, and 700 going to be on Genji, so completely switching things up. No Reaper to be seen, but Rain's on McCree. So I really kind of wonder how much is Key going to be able to pull off here. Obviously with the Mercy in tow, it's going to be relatively well. And Fate's already get the kill in 11-5-20, so that's going to be a big pickup for them. No Zenyatta, no Transcends possibly coming in, but Ponge gets a little bit too aggressive. 700's not there to join him in time, but eventually gets the kill in the rain, turns it around, gets the dash back in. He's looking for East, but East is still relatively healthy at this current point in time, and I don't really see the backup for 700 just here yet, but it's all in the air. It's going to be the Mercy, it's going to be the Pharah. There's going to be a lot of 0% build-up for the entire team, and somehow 700 is still not dead.
Weren't you asking for this just before, Jason, to see a Genji come in with the resets? I think you said it maybe be better than a Tracer.
It's towards, yeah, like the end of a fight, like towards the end of a map.
Oh, I see.
Because Tracer just, it's steady damage, yes, but it doesn't have enough burst, doesn't have enough reset potential.
700 didn't even try and hit 11-5-20 there, he just appeared. But this Pharah, this Genji coming in, this is a change of pace that I quite enjoy now. Samsara is just trying to lurk around the corner like the edgy man that he is, but struggle to find any easy targets as 700 quickly backs away now. Look at this mobility, he just can completely jerk around here and make it impossible for Yongban to hit him. Goes in with the dash, gets it done, tries to reflect the flashbang, I think, but it doesn't work out.
Oh my god. Wait, so that means Yongban got the nano boost off of Samsara before he got killed.
Yep.
And from that, he picks himself up a triple and AllStrike hold. Wow.
Okay, and the reason why they didn't capture that point as quick as they could have, because Key, I believe Key and his eye were actually above, too high above the point to add their weight to its capture progress for a lot of that fight. Because constantly, Key was like right above it. You need to be within a certain distance of the ground to actually be able to use your progress to count towards your team's capturing. So I think that was the problem there, because Snake were on that point for a long time without much resistance.
It's interesting to see that Snake actually, 700 has the golden weapon for Genji, but he hardly ever plays him. Maybe it's just more of an understanding of how the team wants to play, and they don't actually want him playing Genji. They don't want to play with one. But in the meantime, we're going to see Ponge jump to the backline with Nano boost on him. He's going to have a Primal Rage to use in just a few seconds. The Transcend's already being popped, but the Valor Grenade going to be coming in defensively. Not a fate, just to make sure to keep their team healthy instead of trying to use it to counter the enemy team.
I like this.
And Rainbow's already able to pick up a quick kill on Isaiah. There's no res potentially coming in, and Key has no backup now because of this.
But I like that Snake can give ground and not get wiped. That's really nice. It actually allows 700 and Co, all of them to sort of build up their ults. Nicely done. Good position there from Rain, actually picked him off. Samsara got the final blow, but I'm almost certain that McCree did most of the damage to the Genji charging in there. So 700 now might have to start thinking about a bit of a change of pace here, because Rain and Samsara are making life very, very hard for Snake here.
Look how close they were to capturing that one, and actually that res might be enough here, and I don't think that Mercy's going to escape. No, Isaiah does go down, but they don't have really any ultimates to make the back of this really work, or that make that second coming of the team really help out. And Samsara, again, he has a death boss available. Finally, 700 is going to hear your call and finish off the kill, but he only has 80 HP left. He's got to back away. He's got Rain, who's already been able to pick up 2 kills on the high ground. Even the nanoboost used on the Meg Mao, and now there's a minute left to go here. Snake threw so many ultimates into that fight, they have to be switching something up at this rate.
They're in deep trouble. They are in deep trouble. I cannot believe this. Key's going to go towards the Reaper now. Okay, so they're going to try and use that to counter out. Not sure what. Maybe the other Reaper, or I guess maybe Samsara is what Key's worried about here. Oh my lord, that was really impressive actually, the way that they held in that situation, I have to say. Big Key pushing in now on that McCree, taking a lot of damage. Earthshatter comes in there, yeah, doesn't connect, that's devastating here. Of course, now Punga's actually switched back towards the Reinhardt on the side of Snake here, so see how this plays through. Still a chance for Key to get in, he's healthy, 700's able to back away here. So yeah, like I said, I don't mind Snake being able to disengage without getting wiped. If they just stand around here or maybe in the next 10 meters and get ready to go, it's fine. They've got 2/3 of this capture progress already, so they don't have to spend too much time on this point.
Yeah, but Rain can be hopping the Deadeye as long as he doesn't get actually killed. East was a great shield down onto him. The thing is, there's no charge coming in, there's no way to actually stop that shield from being effective, and well, the whole Dead's going to buy some time, but it doesn't pick up any kills, and now he's forced to back away without having that available. In towards the backline, 700 misses the flashbang. 700 is going to love this situation, but he doesn't get the reset. He gets the headshot. Rain coming up huge when AllStrike needed. The point still hasn't been taken, and Earthshatter being dropped. Punga has his available to him, but AllStrike are losing too many men.
Yeah, AllStrike are probably going to go down eventually. Graviton's going to come in, but where's the backup? Not a lot. So Key gets himself 3 kills on the back of it. The switch towards McCree was timely. However, 2 minutes and 25 to get to the next checkpoint. It's not easy. AllStrike just need to make sure they set up. The problem is that they're not. Look at them. You can just see them through the wireframe. They don't have high ground control. They do have a comp that could use it with this McCree and this Reaper, but they're not up there yet. So that needs to happen because Snake have Genji, can access those platforms quite easily.
Well, the thing is, as well, is that Snake pretty much are at a deficit on time bank no matter what. Even if they do have clean transitions in these next 2 phases, I find it impossible for AllStrike to not put up a good defense onto this last point, or maybe even here as the nanoboost is going to be coming through, and he goes for the charge on a Punga. Samsara has to death boss him. Instead, using the rage form just to back away. The Deadeye coming in huge! Key picks up a double. Punga takes on 91-39, and Key's looking to solidify another kill onto Rain, but the problem is, he's just diving, he's stucking way too much. Definitely has watched dodgeball this time, but a great Zarya shield comes in, and he's still gonna fall nonetheless to the hammer to the head out of Punga. I don't even think he saw that coming.
I love that. It was like this honorable duel, and then Punga comes out of nowhere and sends Rain cartwheeling sideways. High ground control, Jason. 3 words, it means a heck of a lot in this game. Key's able to use that as well because AllStrike couldn't set up properly. He broke AllStrike in that fight. 2 quick kills, 2 crucial kills, and Rain was spending most of his time trying to duel him out. Just not worthwhile use of resources there. So AllStrike now really on the back foot here, big time.
Samsara 16 HP, 4 HP, has no one to heal him up, and Punga just being nano boosted, able to force them back to capture the actual checkpoint. So now 2 minutes and 30 seconds to finish off this map to see if we can have another overtime happen. 700 still coming to this Genji, still doing some serious work as they're pushing the back and trying to build up ult percent. AllStrike, it's fine for them. They're not losing any ultimates, they're not committing any of this, but they are feeding Snake over quite a bit.
Well, they're losing kills. The problem is that they spawned so close towards the payload because they came up before the point was quite taken. That's how fast that Snake have been pushing through here. So Snake had a fair bit of free progress, but still will need to penetrate the last point. And you're right, Jason. There are potentially enough ults on the side of AllStrike to hold this for the next 2 minutes, if they're used correctly. And we know that, well, AllStrike were in a position to sort of win the game out, and so was Snake, and it all did come down to those ults being used efficiently. At least Rain has this high ground now. This is going to force Snake to challenge him out on that one, but he drops down anyway. So.
The problem is that if you're in the situation of Snake, you cannot afford to have someone die off by themselves. You need to have everyone up to make this push work. You see this in solo queue all the time when someone goes off by himself trying to be a hero. Eventually dies, you're like, alright, well, we can't fight 5v6 anymore, and this is going to be the same case. But 700 can be the big playmaker. Graviton Surge coming through, the Deadeye from the side. 700 is going to be there, the Sleep Dart comes in, the Reflect won't matter, as Reigns will eventually fall, and Snake are going to pick up a couple of kills. Ideally, they should not lose anyone here and transition this into a push.
Samsara dies with ult, Rain uses his and get wrecked, East gets nothing off his Earthshatter. That's pretty much the one thing that would have caused AllStrike to lose that fight, and they've done so spectacularly. And the fact that Snake still have an Earthshatter ready means that AllStrike can't even really stall out. Look at Punga, lay it down. Well, there you go, I'm knocked on my rear end. Luckily, there was a sound barrier for AllStrike, but they're still going to lose this fight because they spent half of it on their butts.
Not to mention the nano-boosted Genji or Dragon Blade is going to do some serious work here. Slick just don't seem to be losing too many men. 91-39 is able to pick up a kill. So does Rain, but eventually Key will take him down. It's just 91-39 by him, still trying to contest the point. And you know what, Mitch? We're going overtime again.